JAMB 2016 Biology Question 21. The microorganism that causes typhoid disease is option A, Trypanosome gambiense, option B, Salmonella typhi, option C, Entamoeba histolytica, option D, Plasmodium species. For us to answer this question, we'll have to take a look at the diseases that each of these organisms causes. Trypanosome gambiense causes the disease known as trypanosomiasis. Trypanosomiasis is also known as sleeping sickness and is an insect-borne parasitic disease of humans and other animals. The vector for Trypanosome gambiense is tsetse fly. Salmonella typhi causes typhoid fever. Typhoid fever is an acute illness that is associated with fever. It can also be caused by Salmonella paratyphi, which is a related bacterium that usually causes a less severe illness. The bacteria are deposited in water or food by a human carrier and are then spread to other people in the area. Entamoeba histolytica causes the disease known as amoebiasis. Amoebiasis, which is also known as amoebic dysentery, is a parasitic infection of the colon. Plasmodium species causes the popular malaria. So from our explanation, we find out that our correct answer is option B, Salmonella typhi. JAMB 2016 Biology Question 22. A collection of population of all living organisms that exist in a habitat is referred to as option A, niche, option B, ecosystem, option C, community, option D, environment. To answer this question, we'll have to take a look at certain basic ecological definitions. In biology, the term species refers to all organisms of the same kind that are potentially capable, under natural conditions, of breeding and producing fertile offspring. The members of a species living in a given area at the same time constitutes a population. All the population of different organisms living and interacting within a particular geographic area make up a biological community. The living organisms in a community, together with their non-living or abiotic environment, make up an ecosystem. Niche in ecology refers to the role of an organism in a particular habitat. So from our option here, the correct answer will be option C, community, which is the population of different organisms living and interacting within a particular geographic area. JAMB 2016 Biology Question 23. The theory of use and disuse of organs was promulgated by option A, Alfred Wallace, option B, Charles Darwin, option C, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, option D, Robert Hooke. The correct answer to this question is option C, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. Lamarck had observed that a body part that is constantly used enlarges and becomes efficient. One that is not becomes weak and small. Through this type of use and disuse, an organism acquires certain traits during its lifetime. Lamarck thought that these acquired traits could be passed on to offsprings. Thus, he believed that new species evolved after several generations by acquiring new traits and losing old ones. So now that we've known that Jean-Baptiste Lamarck promulgated the theory of use and disuse, let's look at what the other names are known for. Alfred Wallace is known for the theory of evolution. Charles Darwin is known as the man that promulgated the theory of natural selection. And Robert Hooke is known for his work on microscopy and as the man that coined the word cell. JAMB 2016 Biology Question 24. The theory of natural selection was postulated by option A, Gregor Mendel, option B, Matthias Schleiden, option C, Charles Darwin, option D, Robert Hooke. Our correct answer here is option C, Charles Darwin. Natural selection is the process by which inheritable traits. Charles Darwin postulated the theory of natural selection. Natural selection is the process by which heritable traits increases an organism's chance of survival and reproduction. These traits are favored than less beneficial traits. Originally proposed by Charles Darwin, natural selection is the process that results in the evolution of organisms. Now let's take a look at what these other names are known for. Gregor Mendel is known for the theory of heredity. Matthias Schleiden, together with Theodor Schwann, co-founded the cell theory. JAMB 2016 Biology Question 25. The movement response of a cockroach away from a light source is option A, negative phototropism, option B, positive phototaxism, option C, negative phototaxism, option D, positive phototropism. To answer this question, we'll have to look at what tropism is and also what taxis also means. Tropisms are directional movements response in plants that occur in response to a directional stimulus, while thesis is the directional movement of animals in response to stimulus. Tropisms and thesis may be positive or negative. By that we mean that if an animal or plant moves towards the stimulus, then the response is positive. And if an animal or plant moves away from a stimulus, the response is negative. So let's go back to our options and see what we have there. From the question here, we find out that the cockroach moved away from the light source. Therefore, our correct answer here is option C, negative phototaxism. This is because it involved an animal and the animal moved away from the light source. JAMB 2016 Biology Question 26. Which of the following can cause shrinkage of living cells? Option A, deionized water. Option B, hypotonic solution. Option C, isotonic solution. Option D, hypertonic solution. Our correct answer here is option D, hypertonic solution. A hypertonic solution contains higher concentration of solutes and less of water than a cell. That means in a hypertonic solution, we'll have more solutes and less water. A hypertonic solution contains higher concentration of solutes and less of water than a cell. Since the concentration of water is higher within the cell, there is a net movement of water from inside to outside of the cell. This causes the cell to shrink as its internal pressure decreases. So the solution that will bring about cell shrinkage is hypertonic solution. JAMB 2016 Biology Question 27. The ability of chameleon to change its color rapidly is an adaptation for option A, obtaining food, option B, attracting mates, option C, communication, option D, escaping detection. The correct answer for this question is option D, escaping detection. Certain animals change the color of their body surfaces to match their environment and so escape detection. The chameleon is famous for its rapid color changes as it moves from a background of one color to another. It can also display a variety of colored patterns to blend with its background. All this action helps it to escape detection from its predators. JAMB 2016 Biology Question 28. The function of the red head in male agama lizard is to option A, scare other males from the territory. Option B, warn predators from the distastefulness of the animal. Option C, attract female lizards for mating purposes. Option D, conceal and camouflage the animals from predators. Sexually reproducing animals have various adaptations that help them to recognize and attract compatible mates. Sexual selection generally favor a dull appearance for the female and an attractive one for the male. Like for the agama lizard here, we find out that the females have a dull color while the male have a bright appearance. Males use their striking features together with appropriate behavioral adaptations to attract females. Females, on the other hand, identify their males accurately through these striking adaptations. So going back to our options, our correct answer would be option C, to attract female lizards for mating purposes. JAMB 2016 Biology Question 29. The activity of thiolane is likely to decrease with an increase in the concentration of option A, oxygen, option B, starch, option C, protein, option D, acid. The correct answer to this question is option D, acid. Thiolane is an amylase that is present in saliva and catalyzes the hydrolysis of starch. It is inactivated in the stomach by gastric acid. This is because thiolane operates best in an alkaline medium. So the action of the gastric juice in the stomach, which is acidic in nature, inhibits the thiolane. So the activity of thiolane would decrease with an increase in the concentration of acid. JAMB 2016 Biology Question 30. Seed plants are divided into option A, monocotyledons and dicotyledons, option B, trachophytes and ferns, option C, angiosperms and gymnosperms, option D, talophytes and bryophytes. Looking at option A, monocotyledons and dicotyledons, this is a subdivision of the angiosperms. Angiosperms are divided into monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Looking at option B, we have trachophytes and ferns. This is not a division of seed plants. It is actually one of the phylums of plant classification. Looking at option D, we have talophytes and bryophytes. Talophytes and bryophytes are also phylums in the kingdom Plantae. So our correct answer here would be option C. Seed plants are generally classified into two, angiosperms and gymnosperms. Angiosperms, also called flowering plants, have seeds that are enclosed within an ovary, usually a fruit, while gymnosperms have no flowers or fruits and have unenclosed or naked seeds on the surface of their scales or leaves. So, seed plants are divided into angiosperms and gymnosperms.